regards these sort of lookups like get countries and getting a list of the countries and so on the system, because these kind of things lend themselves to ID value like this, like get certificate groups, because they're ID values, they can fit into a generalized structure on the JSON structure, so we can generally pull back these things. So any entity that is entity ID, like a skill, or I could put in any entity in here, as long as it's got an ID value, an ID and a name, then we can pull back a ID value, and because it's a known structure, we can put that into Bubble, and Bubble knows exactly what it's going to look like. It's going to look like a number and a name. So that's going to be handy. So for whatever, you can just put in any entity in here, and you can basically form a drop-down list out of it. I mean, obviously these things have lots of other properties, but the problem is if you query those other properties, it won't fit into a standard JSON shape. So therefore, Bubble can't parse it into a Bubble object. So that's step one, and that's great. Really happy about that. In the upload candidate files, that type now just works. It was obviously just something that was missing in the documentation, type in the documentation, so that's good. And then in certificate API, I've only just started this, and there was a bit of a bump in the road to figure this out. But when creating a candidate certificate, we've got all of these entities all on this entity, candidate certificate. We've got all of these fields. It'll be really handy if we could just choose what we wanted, because basically each one has to be specified individually. So, I mean, pretty obviously, these ones down the bottom here look really useful, like license number, license type. These look quite useful, but just go through and check, and just if you could look, I'll send you the URL. If you go through and check which ones in here you definitely want, rather than just blindly add every single field, which would just makes the API complicated. If you don't need it, you don't need it. It's all very well to say let's future-proof it by doing everything. Well, actually, that's not really that handy, because it just makes it too complicated. So there's that. So basically, just look at these fields and check what you want. And but a few bumps in the road, but we are moving on.